What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the sound check. That's Blake and I'm TK, and we're back with another reaction. Blakey boy, what do we got today?
We have a new banger from Spiritbox. This song's called Jaded. Full confession, full transparency. I've heard this song once, haven't seen the video though.
Cool.
TK, he's got some fresh ears on this one, so let's get into it.
I'm familiar with the band. I've heard a couple of their tracks. I dig what they're doing, but yeah, I've not heard anything from them probably since that Holy Roller song years ago. So
Did you know these guys were I Wrestled a Bear once before?
Yeah. I see like lots of clips of like live clips of them get shared on Instagram. Yeah. She kills it, man.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hearing it. So Spiritbox, Jaded. Let's go.
Sick video, hey?
Yeah, it's great. Before the song even starts, right off the bat, it looks like an early 2000s pop music video.
Fully, like TLC or something.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The outfit and like looking...
You're right.
Looking like they're wearing a plastic garbage bag.
Yeah. Oh, it's killer already.
Alright. The chrome guitar
How
goes hard.
sick is that guitar?
That goes hard.
I feel alone in my body. I feel a silence underneath. In these valleys of blood, in these rivers of rust, shoulder roll the blame again. Maybe locked into the...
Again, I'm not super familiar with the band, but from what I've heard, it's a lot heavier. Is this kind of like a new direction for them?
This to me sounds pretty on brand for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is straying too far from what I've heard before.
Alright, sweet.
It was bad enough. I was never enough. But what if
Just from the one listen on Spotify briefly, you know when like you'll listen to a song and you're like, oh, yeah, that's good. And then like you hear it again and then you're like, okay, this song is great. I'm having that right now with this song.
Yeah, I really dig the blend of screaming and singing for what feels like maybe the chorus. I don't know, maybe pre-chorus. But I think it's cool as well that when she started screaming, her face didn't change. Like she didn't go into a screaming thing. She's sort of giving this like, I'm in a trance vibe.
Yeah.
Cool, great video, and the song so far is a banger. I'm digging this.
I've always been ashamed that I wanna fall into a dream with my honor desecrated. It's jaded. I've never found a way to be honest. All I know is a place where I hide and memories faded. It's jaded.
Very tough. Give it a pause. She has such a powerful scream. It
ridiculous.
Is really, really strong. It's nice to hear that she's exhaling as well.
Yeah.
She's not like doing like a fry or something. This is a great little track, and overall, like, You know what's really cool? There's like a bit of choreography to the singing.
Yeah.
It's not just your classic like singing into the mic. Like she's performing.
Yeah.
While she's singing it as well.
Like we mentioned earlier before, giving that kind of early 2000s vibe.
Yeah.
I like that they've like leaned into that too. Like she's being directed in a way that's super like an old pop video, which is sick. And like you said, man, her screaming's ridiculous. It's like there's obviously been a bit of a stigma over the years for like female metal singers kind of not being on par with male.
I think it's more just like the strength behind the voice is where that stigma was. Yeah,
it kind of had like you could tell what gender the person was.
Yeah,
she completely like
she's just demolishing. Yeah, she's she's running rings around a lot of heavy male vocalists.
And sounds like more powerful than half the dudes out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's killing it. And
pick up the slack, boys. What are you doing?
You know what? The music in this song hasn't stuck out as much as the vocals, but the little bits that draw me in are super sick. I think that it's like a well thought out song for sure.
Very, yeah.
Dope. You know what I liked there at the end? The way that they built into that last chorus and changed it up a bit was sick. Like the vocals changed, even the strumming pattern on the guitar changed.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that a lot of bands can lean on. Is like, oh, let's just bring the chorus back to end the song. But they made it feel like a climax of the song.
Absolutely.
Well done. Those little details really make a difference.
Yeah. That was great. I really love that they're in a very... Like the genre that they're playing in is extremely repetitive. Like, you know, if you were just getting into it or if you were observing it, you would assume like, oh, all these bands sound the same. And I think a lot of music genres this far into, you know, the history of music, everyone's kind of in that category of like, oh, you need to do something that's original. But they're doing what I think is great is that they're doing what their genre does and they're doing it better than everyone. Everything, like when you think about this whole song, like her vocals, the quality of the production on the song, like just in that breakdown, that the melody that they put behind, like fused with the guitars, it was epic without like you can clearly they're not trying to be epic, but it just works so well with the video. The one thing I would say that like the only thing that I just didn't vibe is like I'm really over the 3D thing in music videos.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm a big fan of trends and it's such a trend, and I think like if they had have avoided the 3D thing, this would be like, to me, this would be like a 10 out of 10 video.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and that brings it back to being very same metalcore vibe.
Yeah.
Let's have a floating cube that starts destructing in the middle of the video.
I think for me at this point, I'm like, I've really struggled to understand how it relates to the songs and the lyrics. Yeah. Only because I've seen metalcore djent bands use that same imagery for a decade now.
I must say I have no idea what that song's about, and the video didn't play into that.
Yeah, so I could have just been happy with just performance.
100%.
Maybe like instead of the 3D thing, there could have been like a complete different color graded shot of them performing.
Yeah.
And that would have like kept me interested, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look, I'm not usually like massive on the whole like pop metalcore side of things because I think that they don't usually pull off the pop part all that well, but her vocal works so well for that. Like strong melodies and a good singing voice without going like crazy. I think that's a solid track and not what I was expecting. To be honest, I expected them to not be that catchy. I don't know if it's like me thinking of the I Wrestle the Bear ones.
Were you thinking they'd be kind of a bit more like proggy and progressive?
Yeah,
and
a bit
like
weirder.
A bit more nerdy. Like we're trying to show off how many notes we can do rather than like keep it, you know, make something that's like accessible for everyone. Okay. Which is pretty standard in that kind of like djent space. But I think a lot of metalcore and djent is heading in that it's becoming way more accessible for everyone. Like
for sure. But not accessible in a way that's like, if you are an old school fan, you're gonna just write off. Like, I think I could show that to metalheads, and they like some of them would dig that for sure.
You know what's interesting? Like when I look at this, I think if this song was able to come out in the year 2000, it could be played right after like Numb or
100%.
something from
Bring
Linkin
Me to
Park.
Life, Evanescence.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That,
Like, why not? Like, you know, I think that's what's really cool that I'm seeing about metalcore, especially with bands like Bad Omens and, you know, like the whole Falling in Reverse thing. I think we're seeing like that. Just because there's a breakdown in there, that's not really gonna turn people off anymore.
No.
And because she's screaming, that's not really turning people off anymore. Like,
no, man.
you gotta think about,
like,
yeah.
I saw like the other week, like Post Malone in his live show started doing screaming vocals.
Yeah.
I saw Olivia Rodrigo was doing like screams and stuff on stage.
Really?
Yeah. She wasn't doing it very well, but she was giving
What kind of like just like screaming her notes or like?
No, like what normies would call screamo, like that.
What?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So I think that is coming into mainstream for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought that was dope, man.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
Obviously, like, we love heavy music, but we also love other stuff. So if you've got more heavy stuff that kind of blends in other genres like this, drop it down in the comments. We'd love to check it out. And thanks for checking us out.
Ripper. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.